Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Timeless podcast here today. I'm joined by Owen, as you can see on screen. If not, say hello for the
Hello.
listeners on audio. He's already done it. Look, he's a pro at
Are
this
we
point.
doing video and audio?
Yeah, this is both, mate. This is on
Cool.
YouTube and it's on the streaming platforms, of
Excellent.
which there are many. How are you, mate? Obviously, I've seen you not today, but yesterday and the day before that, we've been at the BFI for Galaxy 4.
Yes. I mean, I feel like with this podcast, we've got lots of ground to cover because lots of things have been
Lots of
going
shit
on. So,
happens, yeah.
yeah. So, yesterday we were at the BFI watching Galaxy 4. That was a whirlwind, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we'll say our opinions on the episode and the animation in a sec, but I think overall, just in general, really good event. Nice to see people and good friends and all that again. Because really, it's an event that I can recommend to anyone. Because if I can speak for 95% of people that I speak to, they're so warm, so welcoming. You can just, even if you don't know the people, you can instantly engage in conversation, and you find yourself diverting off the Doctor Who beaten track. Maybe not this event specifically, because obviously Flux was happening at the same time. So after you've done talking about Galaxy 4, you then also just move on to Flux, what people thought about it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think for me, the animation is brilliant. I'll say that much when it comes to Galaxy 4. The story, it's not. I said this to Macaulay, who I was sat with, who I obviously been on the show before. It's not bad. It's not like a terrible Doctor Who story. You know, we've done worse. The Colin Baker one comes to mind. What's that called again? Um,
Unless
Time Lash. Yeah, there's no Time Lash like that. It's
our
just
very
it.
first one we did together.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that is. I think around this time last year, actually, maybe like
Must have been.
because it was near Halloween, and I think that's why we decided to do it, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's for me, it's nowhere near that. But it's not one of those William Hartnells that I'd pick off the shelf to be like, I want to watch William Hartnell today. I want to watch that. What about you, man?
I don't mind it. I mean, I remember when they did the DVD release for the Aztec Special Edition, and you've got like this sort of like funny sort of like reconstruction thing where they've used the stills and they've animated the stills, but it works. You can kind of see what's going on, so it just it gives you a picture of what's going on in the scene. It's not amazing, but it kind of does the job. And then you've got the one surviving episode. And so now they've decided to like properly animate it. And I don't mind the animation. Wasn't too sure on the design of Hartnell. It didn't completely look like him for me.
No, he looked. He looked.
Comparing to other animations with Hartnell, I mean, I know that other companies have done it. Oh, I think Cosgrove Hall probably done one. But I can't remember the other one. They did 10th Planet. Um, and I mean, yeah, I really enjoyed those ones. Yeah, I didn't feel that the artwork on Hartnell was amazing on this occasion, but I mean, it does the job. You can see who it is. It doesn't look
Yeah,
terrible, but
exactly. Yeah, I think
it
yeah, I'm
still
with
beats
you.
the 3D Web of Fear characters.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think yeah, overall I think the animation was great. We had a really good Q and A as well, two Q and As, one with Gary and his team, and Marquez and someone else. My memory was terrible, and then also we had a lovely Q and A with Peter Purvis, who was
Mm,
very actually quite warm and welcoming in the Q and A as well. Because
yeah.
he's like he said, he literally prefaced it with he's had a tendency to shit on this one a little bit. So the fact that he was actually kind of enjoying himself up there, and he actually said he enjoyed the animation as well, which is brilliant. Like I think to get his perspective on it and like how he thought. And in fact, he went, "Oh yeah, no, actually watch it like that. It's not as bad as one may seem." But yeah, before we go into the Halloween, not the Halloween apocalypse, the War of the Sontarans, what was last week? I do want to quickly touch on the Halloween apocalypse and viewing figures because, of course, that's very important for some reason in 2021. People give a fuck about how many people are viewing Doctor Who. So, Owen, I shall tell you this. So, overall, seven-day consolidated. So that's after people have watched it on TV and watched it on iPhones. 5.78 million. And it was the ninth most watched for the week, the second most watched for the day, and the third most watched drama for the week. I think overall, people that say Doctor Who is dying need to look at that as an overall thing of not really.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, someone said to me today that like War of the Sontarans got something like 400,000 views overnight, and then I'm like, I don't care about the overnight views because at the end of the day, that's not it's not the complete full figure.
Exactly.
I because there's so many people. I mean, you had Bonfire Night over the weekend, so there's probably
Yeah.
people, still celebrating it on Saturday or Sunday, going to firework displays and things like that.
Yeah,
Or,
exactly.
various parties and stuff. So look at us. We were at the BFI,
Yeah.
so not all of us were able to watch it. So it's just going to be a case of that, really. So a lot of people will be catching up on iPlayer or
Yeah.
wherever you choose to watch it.
Absolutely.
Later on in the week. So I think having a more of a sort of like
Seven
um,
day.
a 7 day figure is a bit more, yeah.
Yeah,
So
as
some
well.
more something to go by.
I don't know who told you 400k, mate, because whether they were chatting out their backside. Because Doctor Who the Sontarans was watched by 3.96 million viewers overnight. And again, a
Oh, it's better than what I have.
decent, yeah, much better, almost 10 times better. 400k, they're chatting beans. But yeah, like, I think the most important ones as well to look at is not even really a number. You look at these ranks of ninth most watched for the week. The ninth most watched program of the week is Doctor Who. And people say that Doctor
Mm.
Who's died. That's not the BBC. That's across all of television. Like you can't say, oh, the Doctor's the ninth most watched TV program of the week. Right. And then if you just take it down to dramas, it's the third most watched for the week. So
Yeah.
you look at that, you can't say Doctor Who is dying. What you can
I mean,
say is,
there's a lot of programs on BBC, BBC One, whatever. However, they're looking at that, in that week. So I mean, ninth is good.
yeah, not a night
It's
is
nothing
fine.
to,
For the whole week,
yeah.
you think about it, like you said, you think about how many programs on as well.
Mm. So I mean, yeah, third best drama. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take that. And you got to be
Um,
honest, isn't there like this EastEnders crossover going on or whatever? But it's probably raking in the views.
I think it was just over last week.
Oh, is that done
So
now?
you had
Well, that would count
EastEnders,
for these figures
Emmerdale,
then.
Corrie, Hollyoaks, and they were just doing this sort of thing where, like in regards to climate change, and say someone from EastEnders was popping up on someone's news feed on someone's phone in Corrie or something like that. To be honest, I don't know. I haven't been watching it, but that's basically what
Yeah.
I've kind of heard.
Well, then those figures would have counted as well. So if anything, that's even more impressive that during that week of the crossovers, post, it would have sort of counted to those 7 days, which is
Yeah.
which is good. I think overall third best drama of the week. You can't really complain. I think easy peasy. Right, Owen as well, because obviously they've had my opinions. I want to know your opinions. What was your opinions on episode or chapter one? Sorry, for the internet has got me. Halloween Apocalypse. What was your thoughts? Obviously, you weren't on last week, so it's just nice to get like a overall what your opinions were.
Well, once again, I mean, last week I didn't watch it live because I was out again at the BFI. But this was watching last night in Soho. But we can talk about that later. But yeah, I enjoyed it when I got home and watched an iPlayer. And I mean, there's just so much going on now in this particular series. It's kind of, I mean, it's not too difficult to keep up with it.
No.
So I think there was just like episode one, there's lots of tasters here and there. So you got a bit of an angel and you got a bit of Sontaran. And basically this is what's yet to come. Oh,
Oh, you
but
dirty bugger.
yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah,
I love the banter between the two Sontarans as well. It's like, you look disgusting. So I love that humorful, sort of disgusting Sontaran attitude and behaviours and things like that. So, but I'm glad they've kept on Dan Starkey as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, Dan Starkey returned for this, But overall, episode 1 was brilliant. For those who watched my reaction last night, you would know that going into after the first video of World of Sontarans, I thought it was a bit meh. But on reflection, I really like it. I watched it again, sober, not tired, because like you said, Owen, there's a lot. And I think me and Reese, who were tired, not drunk, like recovering from being drunk, was trying to watch it and go, what? And it was kind of we watched it, we were like, what the bleed next going on? But to give you a bit of a breakdown, essentially, the Doctor, Yaz and Dan, they land in the Crimean War, and then Yaz and Dan gets time shifted away, and Yaz ends up at this weird temple thing, and Dan ends up back in Liverpool, and he finds his parents. He's going to take on the Sontarans from there with his wok. And Yaz is stuck at the temple with Vinda when suddenly Swarm and Azure, is that what we're going with? Azure, I think. Azure, they appear and they're like, they know what's going on though. They're ready for this. So that's a bit worried that they know everything. They know Yaz's name. They know the fact that she's got what would the Doctor do written on the palm of her hand. Meanwhile, essentially the A plot is the Doctor dealing with the Sontarans with the help of Mary Seacole. And trying to stop, I believe it's General Logan. Is that the name of the general in this? The general bloke? I think that's his name. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. And that's the A plot, and then the Flux stuff is sort of happening around it. But yeah, Owen, I mean, obviously, I know what you think because we have our group chat and stuff. But tell the viewers, what do you think of Chapter 2, War of the Sontarans?
Oh, well, I did a rewatch myself this evening whilst I was cooking dinner, and just to make sure I didn't sort of like run out of things to say and gaps appearing here and there, I just sort of like made a list of things,
Nice.
that make me laugh and stuff like that.
I like a list.
So I mean, let's talk about Dan. I mean, at the moment, Dan's become my new favourite character. And I feel that there's a lot of John Bishop in Dan, like in this character.
Yeah.
Because he is your essential Liverpudlian.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Yeah.
Liverpudlian.
Yeah, and even like his parents have just come into it, and even the Liverpudlian dialect as well. Things like, say, in episode 1, and the guy knocks on his door and goes, "All right, la," and that's a typical Liverpudlian thing. I mean, I work. My boss is Liverpudlian as well, so I do pick up on.
Is she?
Some of these little words and phrases here and there.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, it's quite interesting. Some of these things that I've been hearing in the episodes.
That's bad of me, that is.
But I quite like Dan's parents in this as well, and just the way they all just sort of bounce off of each other. And it's, I don't know, it's kind of very Brookside. And for those who don't know what Brookside is, it was a soap drama set in Liverpool. And they showed this late 80s to early 2000s until it was cancelled.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there is a Brookside actress in this. I don't know if it's the person playing Dan's mum. I'm not too sure. But yeah, but I love the scene where they're in the car, and they're talking about this guy who's been saying that. Oh, what was it? I'm trying to think now. I wrote it down here somewhere. Bear with me. I'm just trying to find where I wrote it. I've written down so many things. Um, bear with. Oh yeah, they're talking about the Sontarans, and the mum says, "Oh yeah, you got to hit him in the back of the probic thingy." And I thought, how does she know it's called a probic vent?
Yeah,
Because
there's
I don't think the Sontaran would actually reveal what it's called.
yeah, no, it's one of those things where you just got to go plot convenience in it.
Hmm.
Um, but I think
Yeah.
for me, the big one is just the one that I found funny was the fact that Mary Sequel knew the word hotel. I was like, would the word hotel have been invented back in the Crimean War? I mean, I may be wrong. I remember watching that back in the back for the first one. I was like, would she call it a hotel?
Minutes
But yeah,
went to
there you
sleep.
go.
They've got some sort of like accommodation and like look like a bar or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? It was weird. Um, but overall, those are really, really tidy gripes. But yeah, yeah, it's just really it's a strong story, isn't it? I mean, you look at it, it's hard to because I was here with Beef last week. I mean, it's hard to kind of put this in the context. It's one big story, it doesn't have a bookend. And I was saying to Reese, my only real gripe with it is I feel if this is the end of the Sontarans in this Flux story, which it looks like it is going to be, I would have liked them to be a bit more interlinked. It seems like they're just off now, whereas it seems like the Angels actually could be interlinked with the whole Flux thing, and they're going to be a constant part of it. Um, but overall, I think the Sontarans. This is the best they've been in modern Who, and I'm saying this is better than the Russell T Davies portrayal
Yeah. I
in
mean,
series
I
four.
enjoyed the sort of like the RTD Moffat
No, I enjoyed
Sontarans,
it.
even though Moffat it was just Strax. Although there is, I mean, the thing with Dan Stark is that even though they've brought him back as just a general sometimes I still see him as Strax and I
Yeah,
can't see him as anything else. So I'm always expecting him to say something funny, and he was kind of doing this in War of the Sontarans, that he would just say something just completely funny, and I just can never take him too seriously. Um, Whereas the I don't know, General Sontaran, um,
yeah,
he's got a Scottish accent, which I thought was quite interesting as well. Um,
yeah. I think I do enjoy the RTD stuff. But I think in terms of this made the Sontarans actually feel threatening, whereas Tennant most of the time would take the piss in the series four episode. We're like, they're only potatoes. Whereas this one, Jodie actually did a really good job at building the danger of a Sontaran fleet, and I feel that
I
that was
wasn't
really good
too
with.
keen on when with the parlay scene, and they face one each other, and like he's still got his helmet, and she goes, "Ah, take your hat off, mate," and I just thought, I don't like that. I mean, yeah, trying to sound like I don't know, some sort of commoner. I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it's just I agree. But again, but there are mini gripes of some Terrans. I think they're too again. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? Because it's sort of like a little thing. But it doesn't really affect the episode and its quality. But I mean, one scene I really did like was the stuff between the Doctor standing up to the Sontarans and going, this is protected. Jodie is really good in those scenes where she gets a one-on-one with any villain, and
Yeah.
she's brilliant in that. I mean, she's brilliant anyway, and I'll defend this Doctor to the end of the earth in terms of Jodie as well, especially as an actor. I think she's phenomenal, and a lot of people decide to crap on her anyway. But no, I think this is definitely one of Jodie's best episodes. And I think the fact that she's on her own really is great. Um, in the sense of she doesn't really have to
I
like.
think, yeah, I mean, even just down to that, I think just her herself, I mean, she just like really shone through on this. So like, yeah, her up against the Sontaran. I mean, even up against the, I mean, the captain or general or whoever he was, in charge of the British Army. Yeah, I mean, just sort of like she's constantly sort of like, at the moment, as a female doctor, she's always constantly defied by male roles, just looking down on her. Oh, you're a woman, you know, you're basically no one,
Yeah,
get back in the kitchen sort of thing. This is
yeah,
man's
absolutely.
work. Whereas, previously, the doctor was a man, and this was, the thing that doctors do, and no one would ever question it.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
think. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
I'm with
but
you.
the thing
I
with her and the Sontaran, like when they like during that parlay, um, was that he was saying something like, "Oh yeah, we will crush humanity," or something worse to that effect, and she just went, "No, you won't," and that just sort of like, yeah, I like that.
She has this
It's
really
sort
good
of like, I'm not
ability.
taking any nonsense from you, Sontarans.
She has this really good ability just to take control of a room and
Mm.
instantly be the heir of everything. And overall, I think her arc was the most benefited from the rewatch, because I think the Sontaran stuff for me yesterday night watching it was just way too overwhelming and a bit confusing. But yeah, overall, I think as well. I love the scenes of Jodie when she's doing like this pointy stick stuff, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah. Hands on heads. Oh wait, no, get that last thing.
Yeah. And then Get Over it is brilliant. And yeah, it's really fun to watch, which is just nice, isn't it? It's just like when she's on screen now, you just watch it and you go, yeah, this is good. Um, I still don't understand why the Sontarans were in Monday and Liverpool. I'm still confused about that. Even
Because
with
I mean, the whole thing with that was that obviously they've managed to slip through the Lipari shield before they managed to complete it. How they got through, I don't know. Whether it's like some sort of transmat or thing, because otherwise,
yeah,
the Lipari would have noticed them slip through. So they basically got in, invaded Liverpool first, and then managed to build these sort of temporal ships to then go back in time, invade
uh,
Crimea, um, and basically that was sort of like their sort of like pilot scheme. And then
yeah.
once they completed that, they would then spread to the rest of history and just wipe out humanity completely, as part of their revenge.
Yeah, we get a reference to Commander Lynx as well,
Links,
which
yeah, I was just about to mention that. So as soon as he said Commander Links, I was like, yes, get in, classic Who reference, which is about time because I don't think no one's ever made a classic reference to, you know, previous Sontarans before, which I thought was great.
yeah, overall as well, I like the direction this goes, where it's the first time I've really seen Sontarans versus humans in a sense of the Sontarans are actually at war with the humans because they've been defeated sometimes. They're embarrassed, They're like, no, we all know it's because normally it's Sontarans, Rootans, and every time the Sontarans built on Earth, it's to use it as like a cloning planet or whatever, like it was in Series 4. Is this actually the Sontarans are pissed at humanity because they've been defeated so many times? And I like that as a concept. I think it works really well, and there's a really personal stake here. Obviously, you get again. If I'm wrong for the entire review, I apologize, but I'm going to call him General Logan, played by Gerald Kidd. Um, Overall, when the Doctor has that bit where she goes, "I speak for all of humanity," and then he has he pulls together, he goes, "Not all of humanity," and it's like, oh no. And then there's a brilliant fight sequence, by the way. Jamie Stone, who is the director of the first 2 episodes, has been brilliant in terms of visualizing all this sort of stuff. And I really like the battle scene we get on reflection again. That's something I wasn't really happy with yesterday. Watching it back again with some sleep and no alcohol, it was able to appreciate that and really actually enjoy it. What did you make of the actual war with the Sontarans in this? Do you think there was enough battle, or do you think there maybe could have been a bit extra?
I mean, I think there was enough battle there. I mean, clearly we all knew who was going to win that battle, because just sort of like
because we've seen Doctor Who.
The soldiers didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
Yeah, it's just
It was interesting to see sort of like the turnaround at the end, even though the Doctor had basically told them all to bugger off. And the general just then decided to take matter into his own hands and blow the rest of them up, which kind of reminded me of Harriet Jones and what she did with the Sycorax.
Yeah, a little bit. And then we get this line, which I'm still a bit unsure of, when the goes, "Men like you make me question my faith in humanity." I spoke to Elijah about this. I went, if the Doctor said people like you, I'll be fine with it. I don't know why the Doctor is generalizing that
It's suddenly become a feminist.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that an alien shouldn't be taking gender sides. No. It's a very small argument, but it just feels like, fuck men thing. Like, in certain situations, I agree with you, but was it a necessary line? It could. I like the line in concept, she got people like you, but the fact that they turned it into like a politics thing of fuck men, I was like, that's not necessary in that particular point of the story. But the overall line's good. Let's also quickly just talk about Mary Seacole, who I think was brilliantly portrayed by the actor Sarah Powell. I think she was brilliant as Mary Seacole.
Right, yeah.
Again, Chibnall era Doctor Who is a very good job, very similar to Moffat. It's a very good job at making historical characters come to life, and you actually believing that they are who they say they are. Like, he's a twat now, anyways, like I said, but I never believed Simon Callow was really anything like Charles Dickens, if you get what I mean. He felt like a very camp, in a sense, version of Charles Dickens, but like you wouldn't actually believe that version of Charles exists. It's a very hyper idea of Charles Dickens, where as like even people like Vincent in the Moffat era, or even Nikola Tesla, they feel like they could be the real representations of who those people were.
Even to me, like Shakespeare didn't sort of like
no, yeah, same thing.
You think Shakespeare would be?
Yeah, it seems to be like RTD, like to make his characters a bit more lively than who they would be, and a bit more comedic and comic, which worked at the time. It was brilliant. We remember those characters for sure. But I just
Agatha Christie. But
Agatha Christie was probably the only we know how much you like Unicorn the Horse. Listen to the podcast we do.
Big up Reverend Go Lightly.
Big up Go Lightly. Go Lightly for Flux. I reckon it's gonna come back. Biggest comeback. Let's Go Lightly. I'm calling it. I'm fully on board with that. I mean, to wrap up the A plot, the Jodie stuff, because it's the least important going forward into the future of Flux. I think it was a solid little side project for this episode. I want Jodie to now, though, not have these. I want her to be at the forefront of what's going on. I feel like the fact that she took the back foot in terms of the Flux storyline, I'm okay with it for this, but I really want to see Jodie and Swarm and Ezra go at it. And I think, the longer I'm not saying obviously fight yet, but I'm saying because I love Jodie's back and forth with villains. I want to see her do that with those guys like now, like because we've only got a few episodes left already. Next week we're halfway through, for God's sake. So it's just
we saw Calvinista return.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Do you think that there is actually a secret friendship between him and Dan, because
Of
even though
course.
I think they pretend not to like each other,
Oh no, yeah, that's totally
because
what's
like at the
going
end of the episode, Dan was like, "I hope I never see you again," and the Covenanter says, "Oh, feelings mutual."
Yep.
But you know, I think secretly they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to see each other again."
Yeah, I love
We'll go to the
yeah.
pub and have
I
some drinks.
I was the only I was the only person that called that. I say I was the only person. Well, I was sat with Reese. I said Carbonista's going to appear. When all the Sontarans were about to shoot down, I was like, Carbonista's going to pop up. And he did. I also love the line, "I've got a human in this fight," because obviously the double term is I've got a dog in this fight. So the fact he changed it
Yeah,
to "I've got a human in this fight,"
yeah,
I like that little bit. I like all the stuff with Dan. I like the fact that he just essentially vlogging it the entire time.
yeah.
Um, I like the fact that the
Well,
Doctor can
even
access.
before tools,
Yeah, we all love a good sex joke
waxed
in
out.
Doctor Who. We all love a good sex joke in Doctor Who, don't we? Hey,
Yeah.
um, but
Um,
yeah,
I love
it's
some of the some of the jokes and the one-liners. So like when he calls Calvinistas Scooby Doo, and then Calvinist starts mocking him with his wok, and I think the Doctor does at some point as well, mocks him with
yeah.
his wok.
What's that? You got it's a wok. Um,
And then
yeah,
he was like, he clobbers the back of the Sontaran, and what was he says? Pan fried Sontaran. I'm gonna walk right out of here. I thought, I
yeah.
mean, these are like shit dad jokes. But I mean, to be honest, you can't not laugh at them. I mean, some people out there are probably going, "Oh, for God's
Yeah,
sake!"
I love it, and
Because
especially
everyone's
I
doing it.
mean the Doctor Who people are doing a really good job right now making Evil Dan the sort of meme in the community. All the videos they
Mm.
make of him to make me laugh as well.
Mm.
But
I
yeah,
mean, even
yeah,
like with the Doctor and the Sontaran, and she made some jokes and one-liners. And what was it? Hit the road, Skack.
yeah.
And
I thought she said, and excuse my French here, but I thought she said skank. I was
no,
like,
Skack. That,
no,
that,
no,
that,
I
that,
know, no,
that's
I
his
know,
name.
I know now, but I thought
Yeah.
when I first watched it, I thought she went skank. And then when Teresa was like, she can't say that. She's just called the Santara a fucking skank. Um,
Yeah, hit the
um,
road, Skack. And don't you come
yeah,
back no more, no more,
no,
no more, no
no more,
more.
no more. Um, that's on head now. But yeah,
And
yeah,
what's
it's
going
just
on with the TARDIS?
what's going on with the TARDIS, the poor TARDIS.
Oh, it's freaking out.
The flux is harming it. It won't. Yeah, it's not. It's getting all spider webs in it. Um,
So
right
you
there, I
first
think
would
it's
see it like there was like doors growing all over the place. Then suddenly it had no doors on the outside, which I thought was really good.
yeah. No, I thought it was really good as
Um,
well.
and now you've got like extra bits growing out of floors, and then you've got some other stuff coming out of the walls, like more crystal bits, and looks like spider webs or some goo or whatever it is. um yeah, that was just
Yeah,
like funky.
yeah. I think it's funky too. I think it's interesting. Right now, let's actually talk about all the flux stuff because that's where we're going now. The Yaz and Vinda plotline of this, which essentially is the one thing that links over to the rest of the series, or story, because it's not really a series, it's one long story, a
Hmm.
6-part epic as they're calling it. Yeah, overall, let's talk about the first thing we see, which is Jodie's vision of what I'm going to assume is Lungbarrow, which is interesting. They're
A few
bringing,
people have said lung barrow. I'm wondering if that house thing looks like a big haunted mansion floating in the air. um could be the inside of where they are, that temple thing, on the planet Time.
fine. But could that also still be Longbarrow? Who knows? Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, like I said before, Yaz got sent off to this random temple. Or let's just see Vinda there first. We have this triangle. Who's voiced by Nigel Lambert. Now, Owen, do you know anything about Nigel Lambert?
No.
Well, I'm going to tell you. First of all, he is the voice of Papa in the Domio Pasta Sauce puppet commercials, which is a voice of
When's the
myself.
yard on me on
Domio
day?
de, yes. And also, he played the character of Hardin in The Leisure Hive. So this is a little
Okay.
classic Who return. I'm not seeing the Leisure Hive, so I can't comment on it. But he played a character
Oh,
called
Leisure Hive's
Hardin.
good. I
It's
like
called
Leisure Hive.
Do you remember Hardin? Who's Hardin?
Uh,
No,
I'm
no.
not au fait on names.
Okay, well, Hardin. There you go. Um, there we go. But yeah, there you go. He was the
So who,
triangle
who's he
bloke.
playing in this?
The triangle who was like, "Can you repair?" That was him.
Right. Okay.
That was he did the voice of the triangle. I was like, "Can you repair?"
Talking of
Um,
voices, when uh, Swarm, whenever he talks, do you know what he sounds like to me?
who?
And I think I've got his name right. Paul Bettany, who's
Oh,
Vision
Vision.
in that the
Yeah, yeah,
Marvel.
you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need
sounds
to
like him.
rewatch that. I need to rewatch that and listen now. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. You've thrown me off a bit there, actually, because I'm trying to think. Um, as well, though, such as the plot of this is Vinder arrives in this temple and he's like sent by this triangle to the circle, and you can see these sort of ghosts or people that only appear when you're in certain proximity. Yaz pops up and bumps into the old man
Mora.
from the Mora, yeah, the Mora, I think. And then Yaz wakes up and bumps into the bloke from Liverpool, but in
Yeah,
1820.
I don't know where this quite fits in because I mean we didn't see him disappear from where he was.
No,
So we've basically established that he is Williamson, and he was building the Williamson tunnels under Liverpool. Um, and I mean, there's probably going to be a lot of us who don't know what this is all about. I mean, some people in Liverpool may know the history of the Williamson tunnels. Um, I don't think, as far as I'm aware, I don't think it's known what they were actually built for purposely.
yeah.
Um, but I need to do some more research on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the good thing is that people go, well, this is confusing. I think it's meant to be confusing. I think we're meant to go, I think at this point in the script, we're meant to be like, well, what the hell? You know,
Yeah, I mean,
I-
I'm wondering, where does he fit into this?
because also everything seems to be centering around Liverpool, which makes me think that something is in that tunnel that is attracting these aliens or whatever to go to Liverpool, that sort of thing. I'm just gonna guess. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because also he doesn't seem phased by the fact he's travelled in time either. Yaz goes up to him and says that she's in the 21st century. He's like, oh, drat. All right. And then I was like, oh, I'll come with you. He's like, no, it'll be futile if you do. And then we don't see him again. And he's gone.
He's just
But
disappeared, but I'm sure he'll be back.
yeah, of course he'll be back. Then obviously Yaz meets Vinder. By the way, this is brilliant because it's the first time we really get to see more of Vinder, and I think Jacob Anderson is brilliant in this. He's a brilliant character, seems to bring a lot of enthusiasm to the role. Him and Yaz immediately have a very good back and forth as well. I like the fact that they're kind of chilling and all that sort of thing. But unfortunately for those
They're more
two,
panicking than chilling.
what?
Because yeah, I think they're probably more panicking than chilling because
No,
they're
but
wanting
they're quite calm to begin with, aren't they? When they first arrive, they're just sort of like, oh, this is what's going on. But then, unfortunately, yeah, now they begin to panic because Swarm and Azure turn up,
Mhm.
and Swarm seems to know everything about these two. He's like, he says Vinder's name, he says Yasmin Khan.
He
Um,
says what's written on her hand and what it
yeah, which,
means.
yeah, how would he
What
know
did
that?
the doctor do?
Yeah, exactly. And then he gets rid of one of the people. I can't remember the name. Um,
Mora.
one of the more. Yeah, as we were saying, oh, hang on, my ears are actually fucking ringing, even with the headphones on. Oh, God. I talk. As I was saying, yeah, obviously Swarm and that they come in and they know what's going on, but the Doctor and Dan are transported to the temple. And we find out that Yaz and Vinda have taken the spots of these, what are they called again?
Mora.
The Mora. And Swan goes, how long will their bodies last, Doctor? And he goes, I'm going to start the process. And the Avengers Infinity War us because he snaps.
Yeah, it's very Thanos.
It's both Thanos, he snaps, and then we cut to. But we know they're okay though, because the next time trailer sort of spoils it. It's just a bit of a shame.
Yeah. Well
I
done,
saw,
Chibnall.
or whoever edited it. But yeah, overall, a decent cliffhanger. Again, another really good cliffhanger, another good entry into it. Again, not much we can really talk about in terms of overall thought, in the sense of we can't really go, well, this was a great conclusion to this, because it's another step in the direction. Obviously, like I said, Owen, along with Beef and everyone, will be back for episode 6, where we can all talk about the conclusion and then we can say if it was good or not. But yeah, overall, mate, how would you put this against chapter 1? Because for me, I really like chapter 1. I really like chapter 2. They're sort of on the same level for me.
I like chapter 1. I like chapter 2. I thought chapter 2 was better.
Yeah, so we're a bit at odds. I think for me, chapter 1 was a bit more focused on the overall story. And I think that is what drew me in a bit more. I think obviously we're going to get episodes that are more focused on the Flux story, and then we're going to get some plot lines that are out of that. I'm just really interested to find what's going on. So to have like half of the episode be about something that isn't really important to the grand, or doesn't appear to be as important to the grand scheme of things, I was a bit like, oh, let's get back to the Flux stuff, because that's like interesting, because the world is
You know
dying.
what's annoyed me the most about this series
What?
so far?
What?
And it's like the same thing with series 11, overuse of the bloody sonic screwdriver.
Oh,
It's literally
God.
she's just using it to scan everything again, and it's like she's just too reliant on that sonic screwdriver.
Yeah, it's like, put it away, love. Jesus wept.
And even then, she still can't get a reading of what's this and what's that. I don't know.
So I don't know, mate. It's Halloween, mate. As that man would say.
Just put the sonic away.
Put the Sonic away. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. Oh, and now if you had to give it a score out of 10, what would you give it?
Well, I wrote both episodes, so I'll give the Halloween Apocalypse. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Nice.
And this one I will give 8 out of 10.
I'm going to go with you on 8. So we like it the same amount then. I just really enjoyed episode 1. Yeah, like I said, not much to complain about, really. I think for me, it's a very good episode of Doctor Who. I think for me, I would have liked the Sontarans, even if we kept the plot the same. We like what they were doing to be more interlinked with the Flux and the future of it, rather than just being a sort of, oh yeah, we use the Flux to how do you know how the Flux works? Like, for things where you have to ask more questions, it's like, how can you know that you could use something that appears to be destroying planets and all this sort of stuff? So I just watched it and I went, yeah, no, I wouldn't. I want to see I just want more of the central story, keep it to what's going on and I'll enjoy it more. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this one. Looking forward to next week, Once Upon a Time, I think it's called.
Which is a bit too confusing, like with, a previous story called Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
That's going to be confusing in the future when you
What
try and
episode was Once
reference
Upon a
the
Time
story.
again? What episode was Once
Um,
Upon a Time?
it was Capaldi's last one with David Bradley.
Oh, that's why I've
It was the
forgotten it,
Christmas
because I really don't like that one.
But it's like there seems to be a recurring pattern with sort of like stories sounding similar in titles. I mean, Revolution of the Daleks sounds very similar to Evolution of the Daleks and Revelation of the Daleks. And you've also got Resurrection of the Daleks and Remembrance of the Daleks and
Everything of the Daleks.
Resolution. So some of these titles are a bit too similar, and so when you go back to reference and you get the Revolution of the Revolution of the Daleks, and you have to correct yourself.
It's because they're running
Which
out,
is
mate. I think
slightly annoying.
it's because they're running out, mate.
Yeah, and running out of titles to come up with.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. But Owen, anything you want to say before we wrap up and sort of stuff? Anything else you want to add to today?
I'm looking forward to see your death next month.
Twat. For context, everyone is going to that except for me. Even my flatmate Connor, who's been on the show, he's going, but I'm not. So I'm a bit of a grunt. monetary reasons.
Okay, fair enough.
I've not
Christmas
got
coming up.
the monies. Yeah, Christmas. Um, so yeah, Christmas coming up. I'm a student. I'm poor. Like I've said to everyone. I've said it one more time. If I knew that the City of Death was coming, I would have picked that one and not gone to this one.
Yeah,
because then it would have been nearer to Christmas. And it would have been a good time to see people. But instead, they didn't announce it in time, so I booked my tickets in the hotel, and then it was all set by then. You can't cancel that sort of shit. So that's unfortunate. But anyway, you can check Owen. I say you can check Owen out. You can check out Owen where he works.
oh,
It's called the Who Shop. You can also check Owen out if you want. He's single. But yeah, not you, Kevin, if you're listening. I know whenever Owen's on, you like to give it a listen or a watch. I don't know why, but yeah, stay away from Owen, Kevin. Yeah, you can check them out at the Who Shop. They do a bunch of Doctor Who stuff, as it says in the title.
call him out. God's sake.
That's all right. He's been on the show, and it's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Who Shop. It's brilliant. I order from there every once in a while whenever I need something. So it's brilliant. You can get what would you say is your most interesting item at the minute?
Interesting item. I mean, we've got the new the TARDIS Advent calendars. They're huge, and there's so much in them. I mean, for 109.99, and I think it's like worth over 200 quid for the stuff that's in there.
I also
like exclusive stuff to the box set. So I mean that's like seems to be proving really popular.
are you selling it 109 as well, or what is the Who Shop price? Okay, so both are 109. Go get it to the Who Shop as well, just because independent businesses and all that. If not as well, go to the
at the moment because I've got so much to do. I've not even put it up on the website. It's only just sitting in the shop with people buying. But I mean, I know I need to get my arse in gear and get stuff up on the website.
Exactly.
But,
yeah, he needs to stop spending his time sitting on his ass listening to Big Finish. Not joking.
I mean, if only I was just sitting on my ass listening to Big Finish,
I'm joking. But you can also follow the show on Twitter and Instagram. At the time of Pod, you can follow me specifically on Twitter at Alex King _Dom. You can follow Owen on Twitter at Dr. Disco 63. I think it's same on Instagram. Owen, you don't really tweet much, but you do post on Instagram. So go check out Owen's Instagram.
Yeah, I do post a lot on Instagram. I do try and tweet where I can. I think I've probably been tweeting more recently. And of course I've got TikTok, but I very rarely use that now.
Mate, you go watch Owen's Who Shop dance on TikTok.
God, don't remind
you did it. You pulled it out yesterday. Woo!
Yeah, because what was it? I don't know. Something was said, and someone shouted out and said, "Oh, do your Who Shop dance?" Because I did this dance in the Who Shop during lockdown. There was no one in. The shop was closed, and I just found a spare moment. I thought, I could do a TikTok, and I just did the bass da 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 dance in front of the TARDIS, and it just seems to make people's day. I mean, I cringe watching it because I can't bear to look at myself.
It's funny as shit.
I mean, even my family members, they've gone onto TikTok, and my aunt says, whenever I'm having a down day, I go on TikTok and I look at your video, and it makes my day feel better. And I'll just think, do you know what? If it makes people's days feel better, then I'm more than happy with that.
You've done something. You've done something right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but yeah, as I say, I just can't bear to look at myself or listen to myself.
Yeah,
why I don't actually listen back to my own episodes.
Yeah, you should. You should. I think I don't know. I think you're really good. And like I said, Owen will be back for Flux episode 6, and also hopefully for Christmas as well, the Christmas pod 2. I think as well we're doing a nice Christmas drunk watch log, which I haven't told Owen yet, but I had the idea. I'll post it. I'll ponder it to you now. So last year we did a Doctor Who episode. I thought, let's scrap that. Me and you have a certain disliking of a Christmas film that everyone else loves. And I thought, let's not watch that and get drunk. So I think, why don't we watch Elf and just drink? Because that will help the pain.
I will kill you.
No, but I hate it as much as you do.
Why would you even put yourself through it?
Because there's
Do not
alcohol
watch
involved.
Elf. And also, never watch a film called The Lost Adjuster. Now, my movie group, they're very big on, well, a small minority of them are very big on this film. And they put it in the Christmas list.
Yeah.
They did it last year and put us through it. They put it in the list this year. But we've kind of done things differently because we've now got this thing called a wheel where people just chuck a whole load of Christmas films on a list, and then the wheel will then choose like so many films at random, so we can choose them over 2 different weeks. And so it's picked 7 for this week, 7 for that week, and then we've got to then vote which one we want to watch.
Yeah.
But the one that the Lost Adjuster is on is up against some really good films, which mostly I chose and I'm quite proud of. So I'm confident that no one's going to go for the Lost Adjuster, and nor do I ever want to watch the Lost Adjuster again. And I would not recommend anyone watch it because it's just utter dross.
Jeez. Utter dross. There you go, guys. Like I said, Owen, you back soon. And yeah, thank you for coming on again, Owen. It's always nice to. It's nice to chat to you. I chat to you all the time anyway. It's always nice to chat to you in a podcasting sense, because we actually, people say that I have bad opinions. We agree on most things, even though you bully me for it. But I don't think we've ever disagreed anything too heavily.
No, I only believe the things that we do disagree on.
Yeah,
and
also
it's mostly things that you just say that you don't like that everyone else just seems to love.
Name one.
Hashtag Alex's shit opinions.
Name one. Name one off the top of your head now. If there's so many,
God,
you can name one.
I mean, you're putting me on the spot now. I mean, like, there's.
Yes, it's my show. Of course I am. Yeah.
Am I right in thinking you don't like Vincent and the Doctor?
I love that. It's one of my favorite episodes. So you're wrong.
I don't know.
Keep going. This is fun. Name them. Name episodes that you like, and we'll see how far it takes me to go. Don't like
that. Day of the Doctor.
Love it. It's fine. Yeah, it's good. I'll watch that. Yeah.
Stolen Earth Journey's End.
It's brilliant.
Zygon Invasion.
I don't love it, but I'd like it's like good, but I think it's slightly like overhyped because I think if the speech wasn't in there, nobody would like it as much. But the speech is brilliant. So
there's your problem.
There we go. We found one. Yeah, guys, take it easy. We'll see you guys next week with me and Elijah talking about Once Upon a Time. And a reminder that it's John and then it's Reese Marshall. And then we're gonna get all 5 of them in one big 6-person Zoom retrospective for episode 6. Now we just chat Doctor Who Flux. At that point it'll be done. And we can cry if it's good, or we can shout if it's shit. Let's hope it's still good though, because right now this has the potential to be one of the most solid Doctor Who arcs ever. So let's hope we keep going down that path. Yeah, thank you very much, Owen. See you next time, mate. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Dogan.